Hey, my name is Seb, and welcome to the Struffelpeter. I'm gonna read it to Yellow, and Yellow's gonna note down how, from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, children should read this, 0, children should stay away from it. Each lesson in the Struffelpeter.
This is also coming from somebody whose childhood favorite book was A Velveteen Rabbit, so don't expect anything accurate.
So, the Struffelpeter, it's from 1845, and it was translated 1848, apparently, I think. So there are multiple stories, merry stories and funny pictures, shock-headed Peter, cruel Frederick, the dreadful story of Harriet and the matches, the story of the Inky Boys, the story of the man that went out shooting, the story of little suck a Thum, the story of Augustus who would not have any soup, the story of Fidgety Phillip, the story of Johnny Head in Air, and the story of Flying Robert.
You know, you've told me about a couple of these. This actually reminds me of a play that I went to, which was a children's play in my childhood. It was about a little boy who just didn't care about anything and he got eaten by a fucking lion.
Well then. Anyway, merry stories. You just do that. When the children have been good, that is to be it understood. Good at mealtimes, good at play, good all night, and good all day. They shall have pretty things Merry Christmas always brings. Naughty or romping girls and boys tear their clothes and make a noise, spoil their pinafores and frocks, and deserve no Christmas box. Such as they shall never look at this pretty picture book. What do you think?
Well, that's a little weird. The wording's a little weird, but that's probably because A, 1840-something, and B, it's translated from fucking German.
German and English are actually quite similar.
English is actually a Germanic language, so I'm very well aware of that. But still, German is weird.
Yeah, it is. And so from 1 to 10, do you think reading this to your child is, good?
If they're not paying attention, I guess an 8. If they are paying attention, probably a 4.
The shock-headed Peter. Just look at him. There he stands, with his nasty hair and hands. See, his nails are never cut. They're grimmed and black as soot. And Sloven, I declare, never once has combed his hair. Anything to me is sweeter than to see shock-headed Peter.
For the image alone, it's a 1.
Okay. Why? I don't understand. My mom read this to me, I read it to myself,
Your mom's a psychopath. She read this to you, unironically, as a child.
Mm-hmm.
There's other ways to teach a child to comb their hair and cut their nails. Also, I would not trust a child with the nail clippers.
I mean, I guess. But yeah, so from 0 to 10?
A whole 2.
2? Really? Why 2? Not 0? I'm interested.
I hate it, but there is a moral, and it is very, very clear.
Okay, cruel Frederick. He is cruel Frederick, see? A horrid, wicked boy was he. He caught the flies, poor little things, and then he tore off their tiny wings. He killed the birds and broke the chairs, and threw kitten down the stairs. And oh, far worse than all beside, he whipped his Mary till she cried. The trough was full, and faithful Tray came out to drink one sultry day. He wagged his tail and wet his lip, when cruel Fred snatched up a whip, and whipped poor Tray till he was sore, and kicked and whipped him more and more. And this good Tray grew very red, and growled and bit him till he bled. Then you should only have been by to see how Fred did scream and cry. So Frederick had to go to bed. His leg was very sore and red. The doctor came and shook his head and made a very great to-do, and gave him nasty psych too. But good dog Tray is happy now. He has no time to say bow wow. He seats himself in Frederick's chair and laughs to see his nice things there. The soup he swallows, sup by sup, and eats the pie and pudding up.
10 out of 10.
Really?
Don't abuse animals, children.
So the story is actually something you'd read to children?
Well, I wouldn't read it to them myself, but it's, good morality-wise. Don't fucking whip a dog. I would have kicked that kid's ass.
He didn't only kick dogs, he also killed and destroyed and, abused a woman.
I know. I would have kicked that kid's ass. I don't care how old that child is. I'm kicking it in the head several times.
So you think it's a good morale, but you wouldn't read it to a child?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't like reading to children or out loud.
Oh, okay, fair. But you would find it alright when someone's being read that to.
If a child went and read that, I wouldn't complain.
Okay, surprising. Okay. The dreadful story of Harriet and the matches. Harriet and the matches. It almost makes me cry to tell what foolish Harriet befell. Mama and nurse went out one day and left her all alone at play. Now one table close at hand, a box of matches chanced to stand, and kind Mama and nurse had told her that if she touched them, they would scold her. But Harriet said, "Oh, what a pity! For when they burn it's so pretty. They crackle so and spit and flame. Mama too often does the same." The pussy cats heard this, and they began to hiss, and stretched their claws, and raised their paws. "Meow," they said, "meow, meow. You'll burn to death if you do so." But Harriet would not take advice. She lit a match. It was so nice. It crackled so, it burnt so clear, exactly like the picture here. She bumped of joy and ran about, and was too pleased to put it out. A pussycat saw this, and said, "Oh, naughty, naughty miss," and stretched their claws and raised their paws. "This is very, very wrong, you know. Meow, 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 meow. You will burn if you do so." And see, oh what a dreadful thing! The fire caught her apron string. Her apron burned, her arms, her hair. She burned all over everywhere. Then how the pussy cat did mew. What else poor pussies could they do? They screamed for help, this was all in vain. So then they said, "We'll scream again, make haste, oh meow, mew. She'll burn to death, we told her so." And so she was burned with all her clothes, till arms and heads and eyes and nose, till she had nothing more to lose except her little scarlet shoes. And nothing else these was found among her ashes on the ground. And when the good cats sat beside the smoking ashes, how they cried, "Meow, meow, meow, meow. What will Mama and Nursey do?" Their tears ran down their cheeks so fast, they make a little pond at last.
Your pronunciation of half the words is
horrible.
Fun.
Yeah.
Because you got the meow meow at the end, but before that it was meow meow. Also, the apron, that's an apron.
Okay.
Also, look at the fucking cats. Look at those little shits. What? That's not a cat. I thought those were like rats at the beginning. I was like, what the hell is that?
It's a bit low resolution, yeah.
It looks like a Tasmanian devil.
Anyway, so what do you think of that story? I think it's pretty good to be read to a child. Someone is burning to death, you know? No, put that down.
I think that children should be allowed to play with fire, or at least watch it so long as there's somebody there watching them. Because, you know, I am left alone with a handheld blowtorch at all times, and I haven't burned down the house yet.
Okay, yeah, but it's kinda... nah.
Also, it's unrealistic because it takes a whole lot more than one match to turn somebody to ashes. Cremation chambers get really, really fucking hot.
Yeah, but like, they can still burn themselves, like, badly.
Okay, they can still burn themselves, but they're not gonna burn that much. Also, any child has the knowledge of stop, drop, and roll. You stop, you drop to the ground, and you roll till you put the flames out. That is common knowledge. You might get some burns, but you're not gonna get burnt very bad.
So you think the story is a bit too much?
It's very unrealistic, and that bothers me. The story about the dog, if you're gonna whip a dog till it turns red, it's gonna fucking bite you, and you're not gonna be happy about it.
So you think the story should not be read to children?
No.
Really? I can't.
If you're reading it, because you are just not able to read.
I mean, in general?
I wouldn't read it to a child.
I know you wouldn't too, but like in general?
I mean, probably a 4.
Oh, really? Huh.
If a child read it, then I'd be like, you know that's not realistic, right? As long as a child understands that that's not realistic, and also that cats don't look like that.
I mean, the point is more like don't play with fire, or else you'll get burned.
You know what I have to say to that?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Why do you even have that? You don't smoke or anything. What do you do with this? You're not smoking or burning down kindergartens, which are the only two reasons why someone owns.
Light candle. Anyway, yeah.
Next story.
Sure.
The story of the Inky Boys. Oh boy. As he had often done before, the woolly-headed black Amour one nice fine summer's day went out to see the shops and walked about, and as he found it hot, poor fellow, he took with him his green umbrella. Then Edward, little noisy wag, ran out and laughed and had his flag. And William came in jacket trim, brought his wooden hoop with him, and Arthur too snatched up his toys and joined the other naughty boys. So one and all set up a roar, and laughed and hooted more and more, and kept on singing, "Only think! Oh, Blackie, you're as black as ink!" Now tall, Agrippa. I think that's
Yeah, it sounds about right. The 4 pixels. I can't read it.
Now tall Agrippa lived close by, so tall he almost touched the sky. He had a mighty inkstand too, and which a great goose feather grew. He called out in an angry tone, "Boys, leave the black Amour alone, for if he tries with all his might, he cannot change from black to white." But they did not mind a bit what a great Agrippa said of it, but went on laughing as before, and hooting as the black Amour. Then great Agrippa, form with rage, look at him, on this very page. He seized Arthur, seized Ned, takes William by his hat, and they may scream and kick and call. Into the ink he dipped them all, into the inkstand, 1, 2, 3, till they are black as black can be. Turned over now and shall see. See, there they are, and there they run. The black Amour enjoys the fun. They have been made as black as crows, quite black all over, eyes and nose, and legs and arms and head and toes, and trousers, pinafores and toys. The silly little Inky Boys, because they set up such a roar and tease the harmless black Amour.
10 out of 10. Don't be racist.
Honestly, yeah. Like it says, he cannot do anything, no matter how much he tries.
Yeah, dude's just existing. Leave him alone. Dip the children in the tar.
It's ink, if I may say.
And I said tar on purpose because tar would be much worse than ink.
Oh boy, this story. The story of the man that went out cheating. This is a man that shoots the hares. This is the coat he always wears. With game bag, powdered horn and gun. He's going out to have some fun. He finds it hard without a pair of spectacles to shoot the hare. The hare sits, snugs in leaves and grass, and laughs to see the green man pass. Now as the sun grew very hot, and he a heavy gun had got, he lay down underneath a tree and went to sleep, as you may see. And while he slept like any top, little hare came hop, 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 took gun and spectacles, and then
Spectacles.
Spectacles, okay.
It's another word for glasses.
Yeah, I know, I just didn't know how to pronounce it. On her hind legs went off again. The green man wakes and sees her place, the spectacles upon her face. And now she's trying all she can to shoot the sleepy green-coat man. He cries and screams and runs away. The hare runs after him all day, and he hears him call out everywhere, "Help! Fire! Help! The hare! The hare!" At last he stumbles at the well. Head over ears, in he fell. The hare stops short, took aim and hark. Bang! Went the gun. She missed her mark. The poor man's wife was drinking up her coffee in her coffee cup. The gunshot cup and saucer true. "Oh dear!" cried she. "What shall I do?" There lived close by the cottage there the hare's own child, little hare. And while she stood upon her toes, the coffee fell and burned her nose. "Oh dear!" she cried with spoon in hand. "Such fun I do not understand."
I don't understand either.
It's basically, I guess, the story that Morris don't hunt for fun.
I mean, if you do hunt, then, eat what you hunt.
Yeah, like this man just was hunting for fun.
If he's eating what he hunts, then I don't see a problem with it. If he's hunting just for the pelts, though, then yeah. Then I get it. But if he's actually eating, whatever he hunts, then I don't.
Maybe it also says don't hunt at all? I don't know. It's just a silly story, I guess.
I can't ever say don't hunt at all, because one of my guilty pleasures in life is stealing deer jerky from one of my friends whose dad hunts.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Uh, 5 out of 10. I'm confused.
Fair. The story of little sucker Thum. Oh god. Not this. One day, Mama said, "Conrad dear, I must go out and leave you here. But mind now, Conrad, what I say. Don't suck your thumb while I'm away. The great tall tailor always comes to little boys who suck their thumbs. And ere they dream what he's about, he takes his great sharp scissors out and cuts their thumb clean off. And then, you know, they never grow again." Mama had
Scarcely.
had scarcely turned her back. The thumb was in. Alack, alack.
Why does he look like that?
The door flew open. In he ran, the great, long, red-legged scissor man. "Oh, child, see! Tailor come and caught out little sucker Thumb. Snip, snap, snip, the scissor go. And Conrad cries out, 'Oh, oh, oh!' Snip, snap, snip, they go on so fast that both his thumbs are off at last. Mama comes home. There Conrad stands, looks quite sad, and shows his hands. 'Ah,' said Mama, 'I knew he'd come to naughty little sucker Thumb.'"
Why does the scissor man look like that?
To scare the children.
He looks so stupid. How fast is that man running?
So you know Sonic, right? It's nothing like that. He's normal speed.
But still, like, that guy looks like he just came out of hyperdrive. He was going speed of light to cut those thumbs off. What the hell? Anyway, 0 out of 10. There's nobody gonna cut your fucking thumbs off.
Yeah, but it's supposed to scare the children.
Okay, a small child sucking its thumb is actually a developmental stage in their life because they are trying to get their teeth to come in, especially like babies. And after that, it's like a pacifying thing. So as long as the child's not like 7 or 8 and doing that, there's no fucking issue with it. Just leave them alone.
I think this child is like already like 2. I think the story is about our child that is too old for that.
Still, you don't fucking cut someone's thumb off.
Yeah, it's supposed to scare the children to like not do that anymore.
You know what else scares children? Mall Santas. But you don't see mall Santas cutting off people's thumbs.
Yeah, it's supposed to scare the children, like with unrealistic things. It's like it's trying to show like that's gonna happen, even though it's not gonna happen, to scare the children to not do that. And instead of like telling why, you just scare the children. At least back then you did.
You haven't even started reading, and the imagery is so dumb looking. The last image of Augustus is me for real. Look at it.
Well, let me tell you about the story of Augustus, who would not have any soup. Augustus was a chubby little lad. Fat, ruddy cheeks Augustus had, and everybody saw with joy the plump and hearty, healthy little boy. He ate and drank as he was told, and never let his soup get cold. But one day, one cold winter day, he screamed out, "Take the soup away! Oh, take the nasty soup away! I won't have any soup today!" Next day, now look, the picture shows how lank and lean Augustus grows. Yet though he felt so weak and ill, the naughty fellow cries out still, "Not any soup for me, I say! Oh, take the nasty soup away! I won't have any soup today!" The third day comes. Oh, what a sin! Make himself so pale and thin. Yet the soup is put on table. He screams as loud as he's able, "Not any soup for me! I say, oh, take the nasty soup away! I won't have any soup today." Look at him now, the fourth day comes. He scarcely waits, oh, a sugar plum. He looks like a little bit of thread. And on the fifth day, he was dead.
Can't say that I would ever experience that fate. Here I am sitting eating gumbo. So remember, kids, even if you do eat your soup, you might look like Augustus there at the end. Little spindly piece of thread. Take me as an example. I know I look more like third day Augustus than fourth day Augustus, but you know.
You look like second day.
No, you are way overestimating my existence.
Okay, even though I'm seeing you right now, but like, okay.
You're seeing me with a big ass jacket on.
Fair.
Very loosely over me. I'm hunched over. I look bigger than I actually am.
So, what do you think of the story? Is it a good story for children to like listen or read?
If I was force-fed soup every single day, I think I'd get tired of the soup after a while. If a child read it by themselves, I would not stop them. So I guess, like, at 6, I mean, eat your food.
Yeah, Like, this is one of the stories that's kept in my mind.
The last image of Augustus there is gonna live rent-free in my mind. Look at him. Doom and hands, look at that man.
Yeah. So, like, a parent shouldn't read this, but if a child happens to read it, it's not that bad.
I mean, that's up to the parent, I guess.
Oh boy. Right, this exists. The story of Fidgety Phillip. Let me see if Phillip can be a little gentleman. Let me see if he's able to sit still for once at table. Thus Papa bade Phillip behave, and Mama looked very grave. But Fidgety Phil, he won't sit still. He wriggles and giggles, and then I declare swings backwards and forwards, and tilts up his chair, just like any rocking horse. Phillip, I'm getting cross! Sees a naughty, restless child, growing still more rude and wild, till his chair falls over quite. Phillip screams with all his might, catches at the cloth, but then again, that makes it worse again. Down upon the ground they fall, glasses, plates, knives, forks and all. How Mama did fret and frown when she saw them tumbling down, and Papa made such a face. Phillip is in sad disgrace. Where is Phillip? Where is he? Fairly covered up, you see. Cloth and all are lying on him. He was pulled down all upon it. What a terrible to-do! Dishes, glasses snapped in two. Here a knife and there a fork. Phillip, this is cruel work. Table so bare and poor Papa and poor Mama look quite cross and wonder how they shall have their dinner now.
This is a perfect example in history of how kids with ADHD have always been demonized, and I don't like it, because if a kid can't sit still, there may be a reason for it, and the fact that small children usually don't have the ability to sit still anyway, because they're children. They have a lot of energy to let out. Let them go run around for a while if they're being fidgety.
But also 1800s.
1800s, I know, but still.
I get that, yeah. I also was like thinking of like, what if that kid has ADHD? What if little Phillip has ADHD?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, he shouldn't like destroy the entire dinner table, like, yeah.
How heavy is Phillip that he pulled all that on top of himself? That is a Dutch oven. If that thing's full, how in the Sam hell is he heavier than everything, including that on that?
You gotta also, like, calculate the gravity in it. Like, he was falling, he wasn't pulling, he was falling, so the gravity also made it a bit better to grab.
Yeah, but, like, his dad's hands were on that tablecloth. He could have stopped it at any time, and he just didn't.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
It is that father's fault. His hands were right there, and he was just like, man, Phillip, you motherfucker. Why do I even, like, live in this house? It's like, you had your hands on the tablecloth! You could have stopped this!
That's fair. I guess, yeah. So, what do you think of that story? How much?
I don't like it. It's a 1 out of 10. Because it's not like I despise it with every inch of my being, but it's... I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah, I won't really put much input in there because, well, it's your opinion, so I accept it. The story of Johnny Head in Hair. As he trucked along to school, it was always Johnny's rule to be looking at the sky and at clouds that floated by. But just before him lay in his way, Johnny never thought about, so that everyone cried out, "Look at little Johnny there! Little Johnny Head in Hair!" Running just in Johnny's way came a little dog one day. Johnny's eyes were still astray, up on high in the sky, and he never heard them cry, "Johnny, mind! The dog is nigh!" Bum dum! Down he fell with such a trump, dog and Johnny in a lump. One with head as high as ever, Johnny walked beside the river. Johnny watched the swallows trying, which was the cleverest at flying. Oh, what fun! Johnny watched the bright round sun going in and coming out. This was all he thought about, so he strode on, only think the river was the very brink, where the bank was high and steep and the water very deep. And the wishes in a row stared to see him coming so. One step more, oh sad to tell, headlong in poor Johnny fell, and the fishes in dismay wagged their tails and swam away. There lay Johnny in his face with his nice red riding case. But as they were passing by, two strong men heard him cry, and with sticks the two strong men hooked poor Johnny out again. Oh, you should have seen him shiver when they pulled him from the river. He was in sorry plight, dripping wet and such a fright. Wood all over, everywhere, clothes and arms and face and hair. Johnny will never forget what it is to be so wet. And the fishes 1, 2, 3 are coming back, you see. Up they came the moment after to enjoy the fun and laughter. Each popped out his little head to tease poor Johnny, said, "Silly little Johnny, look, you have lost your writing book."
That sounds like a normal child, though. Like, accidents happen. Watch your feet when you're walking, but I don't blame them for staring at the sky. Birds are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are. I think the story is just trying to say, kids, just be careful where you're walking, or else you end up like a little Johnny here.
Okay, but again, that's lazy parenting. Just be like, hey, watch where you're walking. Hey, no, really, watch where you're walking. You're gonna hurt yourself. And then if they do hurt yourself, well, there you go. That's why you need to watch where you're walking. You know what? If I was read this as a child and I saw little Johnny fall in a river, I'd go, idiot.
Yeah, this is supposed to make you feel like, oh wow, I should look where I'm walking.
No, Johnny's a fucking idiot. Johnny's just dumb.
Exactly, yeah.
So, solid 5 out of 10. I mean, just parent better.
I think this is like the last one, yeah. Goody. The story of flying robot. When the rain comes tumbling down in the country or the town, all good little girls and boys stay at home and mind their toys. Robot thought, no, when it pours, it's better outdoors. Rain it did, and in a minute Bob was in it. Here you see him, silly fellow, underneath his red umbrella. What a wind, oh! How it whistles through the trees, flowers and thistles. Thistles. It was caught, his red umbrella. Now look at him, silly fellow. Up he flies to the sky. No one heard his screams and cries. Through the clouds and rude wind bore him, and his head flew on before him. Soon they got to such a height, they were nearly out of sight, and the head went up so high that it never touched the sky. No one ever yet could tell where they stopped or where they fell. Only one thing is plain, Bob was never seen again.
2 out of 10. Let your kids play in the rain if they want to, as long as it's not like lightning or something.
Okay.
I mean, standing in the rain is actually really fun if you don't have anything really to do that day and you could just go inside and dry off. Just standing out in the rain and watching it, it's actually really nice.
But you don't want to end up like a flying robot.
That's some Mary Poppins type bullshit. I don't give a damn.
Now you know, like, the book that, like, everyone in the entire world is talking about, basically. The Struwwelpeter. That's, like, where the most stories are coming from, that, like, everyone is, like, making fun of.
Yeah, no, I would not read this to my children.
Oh, really? Why not?
Oh, really? You can't tell why?
No, I was read this, and, like, I turned out well.
Your greatest achievement in life is a YouTube channel. I'd like to point out, your greatest achievement in life is a YouTube channel. It's a really sweet YouTube channel, but, you know, there's like a list of issues that I could start listing. But I won't, because I'm nice.
And it would be recorded.
And it would be recorded, and that would be mean. I'm not going to tell the whole world your issues.
Yeah, so, which story do you think is actually one of the best, and which one is, like, the worst?
Best is tied between the Inky Boys and Cruel Frederick, because don't be racist and don't hurt animals. And, goddammit, the worst would be between Shock-Headed Peter and the Suck-a-Thumb, yeah. The Suck-a-Thumb is the worst.
Why? I see no issue with it. You shouldn't suck your thumb when you're too old for it.
Why not?
Because or else it gets cut off by the scissor guy.
I'm gonna cut you off with a scissor. With a whole scissor, man. I'm gonna take the entire scissor hand and beat you with them.
Wow. So, you really think that it's a bad idea to, like, read this to a child?
Yes.
Really? Because even a friend of mine on the internet, he's called Yonai, he was read this too. He turned out well. He's playing Genshin Impact.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That has not turned out well.
He got a job though too, so he's pretty alright.
So am I, and I was never read this as a kid. I read The Velveteen Rabbit.
That's a terrible story. Like, you should have read the Struwwelpeter.
No. I think I'd rather sit there and be sad in a public library because I read one of the saddest stories in my entire existence as a 6-year-old than sit there staring at Peter's stupid fucking face.
Okay, I guess. It's your opinion.
And I think my opinion's more right than yours at the moment. If your opinion is that this should be read to small children, I think I might be in the right.
Okay, I guess. And don't forget, we'll meet each other. I'll see you tomorrow.